Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark outside, I wonder how long Mary Magdalene lay on her pallet, unable to sleep, tossing and turning before she finally gave up and got dressed. Mary Magdalene and the other followers of Jesus are isolated now, cut off not just by death, but by fear. I imagine even family and neighbors began to distance themselves. After all, it was dangerous to be associated with Jesus now that he had been crucified. But of course, grief itself is disorienting, right? This is more than just personal sorrow, though. The disciples have lost their leader, their teacher, their North Star. Even when expected, grief is overwhelming. It'll fill every corner of the day and stretches through endless, restless nights. When someone we love dies, we're often drawn to familiar places and objects. We might replay conversations, save voicemails, sit in their favorite chair. We return to the places they last were, hoping, even if we don't say it out loud, that maybe, just maybe, it was all a bad dream. Maybe if we look again and turn in just the right way, they'll be there again. So Mary returns to the tomb. But instead of closure, she finds a nightmare. The stone is moved, the body is gone. She runs to tell the disciples, and after they come and go, she remains, weeping, alone, consumed by grief. Where is her Lord? And in her sorrow, she doesn't recognize Jesus. He's standing right there, but she is so cocooned in anguish, she is unable to see clearly in the moment. He asks her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she answers, thinking he's the gardener. Only when he says her name, Mary, does the shield of lament crack open. Only then does the fog lift. In that moment, it wasn't theology or a miracle that brought resurrection into her life. It was her relationship with Jesus. It was being known that called her back to life. "Rabboni," she cries, "Teacher, the one who knows me, the one who sees me." In calling her name, Jesus returns her to herself. He reminds her of who she is, not abandoned, not lost, not forgotten, but found for always. Friends, this is what resurrection feels like. It's not just a triumph over death in the abstract. It's new life in the middle of heartbreak. It's that voice that calls us back when we feel swallowed by grief and anxiety and fear. And we live in uncertain times. Whether it's the ache of personal heartbreak, political unrest, financial stress, or the very real risks faced by those living under prejudice or exclusion. This world can feel overwhelming and right now threatening to many. Sometimes we too lie awake, wondering what comes next, unsure how we'll manage. But Easter meets us while it's still dark. The good news is that you are not lost. You are not alone. It's in times like these that we most need our communities. A place where we can lay down our fear for just a moment and be lifted by the love of others. A place where we don't have to carry it all by ourselves. That's what the church is meant to be. Not just a building, but a gathering of people. A people who reflect the love and grace of God by welcoming one another fully and freely. A people who say again and again, you belong, and you belong. We all belong. Because Jesus is still calling names today, still drawing us out of our grief and our confusion and our fear, still inviting us into communities where we are welcomed and loved just as we are. Here, no one must earn belonging. Here, we are held. We are known. We are never alone. Here, resurrection isn't just a distant doctrine. It's lived out every moment we choose love. Every time we make space for one another. Every time we listen or serve or show up in kindness. This is where resurrection grows. In relationships and connections, in the moment someone calls your name and reminds you of who you truly are. Mary went and told the others, I have seen the Lord. Her story became part of the living witness that still carries us today. And we too are called to go and tell, not just with words, but with our lives, with how we love one another, with how we build communities of grace and belonging, with how we embody the truth that God will always find us. So if you are here today wondering where you stand, wondering if you belong, wondering if you are seen, wondering if anyone truly knows your name, hear this clearly. You are held. You are known. You are never alone. And this church, this community is here to welcome you just as you are. In grief, in pain, in confusion, to walk with you, to speak your name in kindness, to be a place where you can feel the love of God in the eyes of the humans around you. And that love doesn't stop at the sanctuary door. It goes with you. Because the risen Christ is not only found in holy places, the risen Christ makes everyday encounters holy. In community, in compassion, in courageous welcome. The resurrection lives in you, all of you. And through you, that same love reaches up, out, and into the world. So come, be found, be seen. Know that you are held, known, and never alone. And then go, be love. Because the story isn't over. It's just beginning.